Joined by Bryce Wylde, a leading natural health expert, in studio with us now. Good morning to you, Bryce.
Good morning to you, sir. Andy, great to be with you. Yeah, what if I told you that I could hand you a simple little tool today and I could ask you to wave it around 90 seconds a day and potentially put 6 to 7 years on your life? How easy would that be?
Wow.
And it's called floss, and we're not doing enough of it. And by the way, this is not about aesthetics. It's not the beef in your teeth, like you just mentioned. Yeah. This is about preventing oral inflammation. There's something called leaky mouth, by the way.
My next question.
Maybe we'll get into it. Yeah.
So it starts with inflammation?
It starts with inflammation of the gum line. You can't even see. We're not talking about, by the way, everything with itis at the end of the term in medical terms is inflammation. So periodontitis, gingivitis starts there. Anything with itis is inflammation. Often you can't see it. But when there is that there, because you haven't flossed, and by the way, brushing aside, because you can brush but not get that beef out of your teeth. So that beef fuels the fire, which is the bacteria. They release, so things like, we've heard probably your dentist talk about P. gingivalis. You heard of P? Yeah, so that's a notorious bacteria that then causes enzymes to leak out, causes inflammation, causes bacteria then to escape the mouth and get into your brain and your heart.
Okay, but to that point, Bryce, because inflammation has been kind of the catch word or catchphrase for years, why is inflammation bad for our health?
Inflammation is a medical buzz term of the day, but for a very good reason, because underpinning all disease, beyond just the itises of the world, it is what starts the immune system, which we want in place against colds, flu, bacteria, fungus, and so forth, including in our mouth. But when it either overreacts or gets tired and therefore gets lazy and underreacts, either side of that coin, we have problems. But at the end of the day, at the molecular level, inflammation is what drives all disease. That's bottom line.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so as simple as 90 seconds a day, you brought a whole bunch of implements with you here, Bryce, because you have different products. And I mean, honestly, back in the day, for me, it was getting the floss in my mouth with my big hands, right? But now there's so many different options to get the job done.
So that butler floss that you're talking about, I can't even do that. I've got 9 dentists in my family, all of whom taught me the best way to floss.
Literally 9 dentists.
Literally 9 dentists. 6 of whom are practicing, and a hygienist, by the way, who's retired since. All very close, immediate family. So imagine the Thanksgiving around the table. That's what we're talking about. Oral health all day. But so I don't do that either. You know what I do? Floss or picks. And there's something, oddly satisfying about using these soft picks that are available now. Right next to you, by the way, #1 flosser brand recommended by dental hygienists and professionals on, this side of the country. In fact, across the country, which is the Gum floss picker. So pick up that little, there you go. I have just put 6 to 7 years on your life, Andy. All right, that's easy. Those interproximal little picks, those picks you hold in your hand, you no longer need to fiddle around.
It's smaller than my hand.
It's smaller than your hand, that's for sure. And you get in between all your teeth. 90 seconds, 60 to 90 seconds a day. That's what we're asking Canadians to do. And as you said, right at the top, Albertans, the West Coast, just not doing it. This Leger survey that we put together, 65% aren't flossing. Imagine how many people that we can implement a better life. By the way, this has a very, close to the heart connection for me. My mom's currently infirmed with Alzheimer's disease, last stage Alzheimer's disease. My father-in-law lost him to Alzheimer's. Why am I talking about brain health? Alzheimer's. It starts in the mouth. Wow. Bacteria that come from the mouth, this P. gingivalis I talked about, and other types of bacteria end up in the brain. This may, in fact, be 50% of the story as it relates to Alzheimer's.
Well, let's talk about the fact that, again, as a kid, I found it too difficult. Now we've got these great implements. The importance of getting the kids involved with flossing to make it a lifelong habit. Any tips and tricks to get them, excited about it and engaged?
Children, I think, are waking up to this idea of health span. We can explain this in simpler terms for them. The younger generation are actually part of the generation who are flossing the least, but need to floss more. And it starts now. This is practice for later in life. And health span, this notion that they can add healthy, good, vibrant, healthy years to the end of their life by starting now and investing now, they get that premise. And gum disease, which is what we talked about, periodontitis, this increases the risk of cardiovascular-related death by 4.5 times due to the systemic bacterial spread and inflammation. I think that they would get that, put in simple terms. And when it comes to brain health, 23% increased risk of dementia associated with poor periodontal health. So, you know, I think children can learn that if they invest 60 to 90 seconds in their day, beyond brushing, that they could live an extra 6 to 7 years. That sounds like a magic wand. Nothing magic about it, pure science.
I love it. Hey, we're tight for time, Bryce, but I want to tell people they can see your work on Global News, our television partners. Also, Instagram.com/Wylde on Health, and that's Wylde with a WYLDE on Health. Any other place we can find you?
Absolutely. And for more information about this and all things gum health, gumhealth.ca. So many articles have contributed to that platform there. I'm just wishing people the best of health and wellness. That's about Andy. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Bryce. Let's bring 64% number of Albertans not flossing regularly. Bryce Wylde, a leading natural health expert. Instagram.com/Wylde on Health.
That's for you.
I was like,
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.